This is Today in Central New York.
Carol Watson joins us. She's behind the hedge here of shrubs. It is the time for spring flowering shrubs, isn't it?
Absolutely, Laura, and they are very glorious this year.
They really, really are. This is kind of an old-fashioned one, right? A Wigelia?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And there's so many new varieties of that shrub. This one on my left is a brand new one.
Also a Wigelia.
Yeah, and they have some really cool foliage.
Yeah.
And the newer shrubs have longer bloom times. So if you're looking for something to bloom longer than a couple weeks, look for one of the newer varieties.
And also, once the flowers are spent, as you can see, the leaves are a pretty color too, so that adds interest to the garden.
And then we have an elderberry up front. Not only is it a beautiful colored leaf and a nice contrast
to the
shape
limes,
but yeah, it's got a real cut leaf, lacy.
Very nice. Deutzia, my Deutzias are in bloom right now. My whole garden is white, and you have a variegated leaf there, which is really pretty.
Well, this is the bloom too. Little Chardonnay pearls.
Yeah, really
a nice
pretty.
little shrub, goes great with perennials.
Yeah, really nice.
And then we have a reblooming lilac up front. Or it's quite small right now. The reblooming lilacs, of course, aren't going to give you the big splash of blooms. They're going to bloom longer, but they're not as profound.
And you're holding a lilac because we had a question about when do you trim back on plants that have spent blooms. And we're going to get a demonstration here from Carol.
Yeah, there are three easy steps to remember, okay? First of all, you're going to bloom a flowering shrub after it flowers.
So you cut it after it flowers.
Right.
Right away, right?
Right away. And you're going to do three things. You're going to clear off the sucker growth first, which usually is around the trunk. Or, you know, just a funny looking shoot coming straight up. And then you're going to take off old and dead wood. There's some here.
Move this one down so you can kind of see.
Can you see that?
There you go.
There's our old and dead wood. You know, go right back. You prune at an angle. And then what you want to do is take off some of the old.
Kind of shape it, right?
Right. Yeah. Take off the longest branches. So pretend
and
this is not blooming.
How far do you cut it back to?
Well, you're going to cut back to a leaf node. You don't want to cut right on top of it. You don't want to cut too far from it, and you want to cut at an angle.
So we're going to cut it back. Don't cut that pretty flower. We have, this is from my garden, and you can see exactly that example. For some reason, it just went real long this year and put leaves on the end. So you want to get rid of all of this, right?
Right, yeah. You're going to take the longest branches off. Okay? That's for, you know, shrubs that aren't decades old. If you have a lilac that's very old, you can actually take all the old growth back to the ground and leave the new growth.
And that's what happened with this one. It was, it's been around a long time, and we just cut it way back. And then you have, let me turn it over so you can kind of see how this is coming out. You could cut it right here so that the new leaves come up, right? Right,
yeah. Pruning doesn't hurt plants. People feel like, oh my goodness, I'm cutting it. Pruning helps it. It helps it renew its energy.
And again, if you have a tree that is finished blooming, like this one, you want to cut them now because they're about to form their buds for next year. And you don't want to cut them off.
And really, with a lilac or any flowering shrub that you like bouquets of, you can kind of do a little bit of that pruning as you're taking bouquets. So take the inner flowers off. For your bouquet, and leave, you know, be shaping as you do that.
There you go. Good advice. And for those of you who think that only springtime flowering shrubs exist, there are several that also bloom in August, so we'll talk about those another time. And those you don't cut until after they finish blooming in August, right? Carol, thank you very much for the lesson and the beautiful display. We should tell you that if you have a gardening question, please get in touch with us. You can email us. There is the address. Just put flowers or plants in the subject line so that we know to look for it. And Carol is always available to talk to you at her greenhouse in Lafayette. There is the phone number as well as the website. See you again next week.
Very good.